Hi guys, I'm Zoe from Zoe's Fancy Cakes, and today I'm going to show you how to make a super cute hippo cake topper. So I'm using some Serracino modeling paste, so you want a modeling paste or a gum paste for this, just because it's a bit firmer than fondant. I'm going to add a little bit of black food colouring to it, which gives us this grey colour, as long as I don't put too much in. And I've got about 146 grams here. You can go bigger or smaller, it's up to you. So we're working on the body first, and what I'm going to do is kind of start with a teardrop, and then we're kind of pressing in partway down, basically creating a bum that's going to stick out a little bit at the back. And then at the top, I'm just pressing in a little bit with my finger. Hopefully the head will sit in that part later. I'm pressing down near the bottom of the front. I'm going to put in a couple of little lines for the legs. Now I thought it'd be easy to just do this all in one piece for the body rather than adding legs on extra, just because it makes it a little bit quicker this way, and I think it still works out looking fairly nice at the end. So I've put some more lines in at the other side of the front legs, but kind of curling it round to kind of create the hips at the back. Now I've pulled the feet out a bit at the front by dipping in and pulling out, and then I've had to put a little bit of paste in there to kind of fill the gap. I'm just smoothing over any bits that stick out a bit too much with my finger. Again, just more lines in here. So up near the shoulder at the front, adding a couple of extra little crease lines in. Now I'm using my Dresden Tool at the other end, the flat part. We're just pressing it in and it gives us this nice toenail shape. Now, I did attempt to use my Frenchie video the other week to create a hippo from, kind of using the same way. You can see it didn't quite work, but I'm going to do the body on this one the same way as I did on that. You might have caught it on the Facebook Lives that I did the other week. So let's do the head in a different way. So the bodies are the same, but let's work on the head slightly differently. So I'm going to start with a ball, and again, I'm going to press in a little bit, almost a bit like I did on the body, but we're aiming to sort of pull out a big nose and have sort of the top of the head a little bit smaller. So it's different shape to this one. This one was too wide at the cheek area, and a little bit too big at the top of the head as well, I think. Too flat was the old one. The other one turned out very ugly. Okay, so we've pulled out the nose bit, and then can you see where I'm rubbing up here? This is going to be the eye area. So I'm wanting the top of the face to be slimmer than like the bottom of the face. So I'm just rubbing those up, slimming the face at this part as well, and then pressing in at the sides of where those eyes will be. Just make sure that you don't press too low down, because we want this cheek area to stick out quite a bit. I'm just going to go in a bit more on that neck. We want a similar kind of shape to my ugly one on the mouth. So it's kind of slightly further up in the middle at the front, and then down as we come around the sides, bringing it back up again as we come to the corners where the cheeks are going to go. I'm just going to press in a little bit more at those very far edges. So this is just, I actually don't know the name of this tool. I just call it the rubber-ended tool. What I'll do is I'll put links below the video to everything I've used, including the tools and the modeling paste and everything. Obviously you can use different ones, but just so you guys know what I've used. Just pinch that bottom of the mouth in a little bit more so that it's not as wide as the top. And then I'm using a balling tool to put in some eye sockets. Now you can go bigger or smaller, it just completely changes the look of the character. You might want to keep it fairly round, but I have opted to go a bit more oval shaped on this. And then I'm just rubbing over kind of under, I guess, the eyebrow area. Maybe just dipping in a little bit above the nose, just with my finger. The nostrils, I don't like them on this one. It doesn't look very nice at all. So we're going to go for a little bit different. So I do keep showing you the other one. If you didn't see my live on Facebook, you probably wouldn't have seen the other one. So don't worry, just ignore that. But because I don't like them, I'm going to stick them on as additional pieces on this one rather than trying to push them into the face like I did on the other one. So kind of teardrops with the point going downwards, and then we'll just press into them in the middle to hollow them out a bit. You can use like a paintbrush handle or a small balling tool. Just trying to rub that in a little bit so that the seams disappear, but they didn't disappear. I couldn't get them to blend in. Just adding some more crease lines just under the neck here. I'm just using the balling tool for this. You can use your fingers though if you want. And then we've got two ovals of white modeling paste. Again, you can use fondant if you prefer, guys, but fondant is way softer, although you could add Tylose or CMC to it to firm it up. But for me, I just prefer working with a modeling paste. Like I said, this one's the Serracino one. I'll link it below, but there's so many different brands. You can even make your own, but I'm way too lazy for that. Okay, so some tiny little pieces for like little eyelids. Now, I don't know if I kind of made it look a bit evil by putting these eyelids on. I think it's because they come so far down in the middle. at the front that they look a bit evil. So I'm going to use some pink dust. I've got the Immaculate Confections brand for this one, but you can use whichever one you want. I'm thinking, again, same kind of areas as on the ugly one that I made before. So a little bit on the underside of the mouth. I think I'll maybe go for slightly less on this one than I did on the previous one. So just using a dry, fluffy brush, just gently go on there. You might even want to go a bit darker with the pink, or even go for a peachy colour if you prefer. And then we've got some black modelling paste, and I would advise buying the black modelling paste ready coloured because it's a pain dyeing it dark enough. So we've rolled a long thin strip and I've stuck it along the edge of that eyelid, so the bottom edge, and then I'm just trimming any extra off at the sides, and then just playing around with the point. I want it to kind of flick out towards the side. I'm going to do the same on the other eye. I never get it to match the same, no matter how hard I try. One always ends up a bit bigger than the others. I'm just pulling it outwards so that from the front it sticks out nicely. And then let's just add a small oval of black for the pupil. Now I'm keeping it fairly simple. You can like put an iris on and colour that in, but for this we'll go simple. I think what I might do, guys, is I might start a subscription service. Do you call it a subscription service? Where I do little tutorials like this, maybe some fancier ones as well, maybe even some behind the scene things of what we've been doing on the YouTube videos, as well as some newer tutorials as well. And they would just be like a small monthly fee. I thought maybe we could do like more advanced details and things like that, or even some basic details as well. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think. I might have a go at recreating this hippo for the subscription. I might start it next month maybe. Keep an eye out on my socials. I'll post about it anyway so you guys can see. But I think, I love this hippo actually. I think it's really cute, but I think I can do more with it. Let's just add a couple of teeth. So the ears were just circles flattened down, bit of pink in the middle, folded in half, and then slotted into those holes that I put in the head. And then the teeth are just little squares of white modelling paste. So we want a little dot of white in each eye, maybe even a second dot. This is just the white food powder mixed with a little bit of water. I did try to use the balling tool to dot them in, still ended up a bit messy. Now, I couldn't decide whether to add these little holes or little sort of bits that the whiskers come out of. I don't know what they're called, but I decided not to on this one. We'll keep this one a bit plainer looking. So I've just pushed the head on. Now I have attached it with some cocktail sticks, guys. If you don't want to, you don't have to use the cocktail sticks. This head will probably attach if you can rest it in place until it's dried, but I'm too impatient for that. So if anyone's going to eat this, just make sure they know those cocktail sticks are in there and they would have to be removed. I'm just going a bit more peachy on the bottom of the mouth and the chest. Okay, so I'm going to go with a darker colour dust, so like a dark grey or even black. And I'm going to put that into the creases, anywhere that a shadow would kind of naturally form, maybe even a little bit around the edge of the eye or above the eyelid. Maybe not too much, otherwise she's going to really look like she's not had much sleep. You can just about see the colour palette in the background. A lot of people comment asking if it is makeup. It is not makeup, guys. This is an edible petal palette. I think it's just called Petal Palette. I did used to sell them on the website, but the last that I ordered never arrived. So we don't have any on my website anymore, but I'll put links to where else you can get hold of these should anybody want one. But you can use the loose powdered dusts that you get in individual pots. It's the same thing, really. So I'm just darkening kind of the toenails, the underside of like the tummy, anywhere that would be in the shadow. If you get any extra loose bits of dust, just kind of use a big fluffy dry brush that's clean to kind of dust those away. Okay, feet. We're going to start with a small ball and we're just going to cut it in half. And then we're going to put the little toenails on. These are going to go on our back legs. So this hippo I did make really quickly, not as quick as you've seen me do it now because this was done for our Facebook Live, so I have cut it down a little bit for this video for you guys. But it is a fairly easy one, so it shouldn't take you, maybe if you're new to this, it might take a couple of hours. If not, you might be able to do it sort of within an hour, this one. And that's because we've done the body all in one piece. Now, I couldn't remember what a hippo's tail looked like, guys, so I just kind of had a bit of a play around with this. I should have just Googled it and had to look. Also, can you see I stuck my fingernail in its bum by accident? So the new one's definitely way more of an improvement than the other one that I did in the Facebook Live. But I just wanted to show you guys, like the bodies are kind of, they're made the same way, but they still look a little bit different. But play around with stuff. Just because something doesn't work out the first time, you know, doesn't mean you should give up. Have another go like I did. Try different shapes, different ideas. and see what you come up with. And don't forget, keep an eye on my social medias for more lives, like when I do this one for live, and also more on my future classes. So I've just got a brand new dragon class that's come out. I'll put details below. In that particular one, we actually make and sculpt a cake, like a little tower, and then also we make a giant dragon cake topper to go with that one, and it actually breathes smoke as well. So check that out over on my website now, guys. And then also I have a book available too. Lots of promotion here for myself, but yeah, there's a book available too if you do fancy the book for modeling. But thank you so much everybody for watching, and hopefully you can catch me for my next YouTube video very soon. Thanks again, guys.